Hi, welcome to Dupi Animations. So today we are going to be working on creating a title intro or a movie intro like the one on your screen. Okay, so not to waste time, let's start. Okay, so I have After Effects open here and I have a material in here. So let me create a new composition 1920 by 1080 and let me name it test. Okay, all right, now let me type in something. Directed by, then enter, then type David Liu. Okay, now let me scale it up. Let me change the font to something like okay, this one would do. Space it up, select the top text alone and scale it down, reduce the size. Okay, all right, so I have this. Okay, now let's come to effect and preset and type tracking, then apply it. Decrease tracking, let's apply it to it, or you can use the increase tracking. All right, now click on the cascading arrow beside the text, then come inside test, come to animator 1. Okay, so this is the tracking keys. Okay, so I'll open it up a bit so that the coming in will be a bit slower. All right, make the text 3D. So let me click on the toggle switches to bring the 3D box. Let's make it 3D. Hit P for position. Press on P for position. On 1 second, set an ending key. Bring the timeline backwards. Then stand on the Z axis. Then pull the text towards us so it disappears. Okay. Now let's play it and see. Okay. So this is okay. So now from here to here, something like maybe 3 seconds. Let's set an ending key there. Then something like 4 seconds. Let the text go backwards. Let's keep on moving it far away. So this is enough. So here, let's split the layer here and clear this one. All right. So now we have something like this. All right. So from here to here, hit T, press T on the keyboard for opacity, set a beginning key, bring the timeline forward, opacity, take it down to 0. Okay, so that once it's going, it will be disappearing. Okay, so from here, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to work on the text a bit, the animator 1, that's the tracking. You see how it comes in here and stop here? I don't want that. Okay, I want it to keep moving. So from here to here, the tracking amounts, let me keep on going, negative figure, then space it up. So I think this is okay. So we have something like this. Still too fast, so I can open it up. Okay, so I think this is enough. Once you are done with this, duplicate this one, then bring it somewhere here. The last, and there whilst this one is disappearing, the next text should be coming in. Okay, you see that? You can duplicate again. Okay, so let's leave it to the 3 here. All right. Okay, now let's create another composition. Let me make it choker. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll click and drag the text in here, then I'll duplicate the text, Control D. Okay, then the top one, come to effects and preset and type fill and apply fill to the top one. Okay, now let's make it black, all black. All right, now I'll come to effects and presets again, then type matte choker. Okay, then apply it to the top one. So let me see, geometry softness, let me make it something like 2.2. Okay, choker 1, let me make it 50. So I think this is okay. All right, this is okay. Let me leave it like this. Okay, all right, now create another composition. Let's name it main. 1920 by 1080, by the height, let's make it something like 900. All right. Click and drag text into the main, then the choker also under the text. Okay. All right. Now create another composition, 1920 by 1080. Name it reflection. Okay. Now I have a city material here that I'll click and drag inside here. All right. So come to effects and presets and type motion tile. Double click to apply it. Okay. So the output width and height, let's increase it a bit, width a bit, then height a bit. Okay. Now press P on the keyboard, position, set a key at the beginning, then something like 10 seconds, you move your scene or you move the picture. You use the left arrow to move it. Okay. See that? Okay. So I think this is okay. All right. Now you see the sharpness here. Let's soften it by taking on the mirror edge here so that to do away with it. So we have something like this. If it's too fast, you just have to open it up. Okay. All right. Now let's come to the main. Okay. Now click and drag the reflection into the middle of the text and the choker. All right. Now let's click on the toggle switches to bring out the matte. Okay. So click on it, then alpha matte it to the text. You see that? You see, so you have something like this. You see? I think the movement of the city is too fast, but first, let's finish setting everything first before we work on that. Okay, now come to effects and presets and type CC glass and apply it to the reflection. Okay, now on CC glass, let's come to the surface where it says bump map. Let's change it to choker. Okay, then the softness, let's go something like 10, 11. Okay, let me reduce the height a bit to something like 20. Then the displacement, let's go high, 500. Let me go 500. Okay. The lights, distance lights, let me change it to point light. Okay. All right. Now come to effects and presets again and type CC, blobilize. Then apply it to the reflection again. Now, blobbiness, the layer, let's select choker. Property, let's select alpha. And the softness, let's go something like 12. Let me see, lights, let me choose the points lights. Okay, nice. Okay, so we have something like this. You see, neat, simple. A simple movie intro, bringing out the key players. All right, so this is okay. Okay, so now let's insert in a new solid layer. Let's make it black, then lay it under. Okay, let me name it BG, background. Okay, now come to effects and type 4 gradients, 4 color gradients, then apply it. Okay, now let me make this one black, this one also black, then let me see this one also black, then this one, let's go a dark red. Okay, dark red. Let's create another solid layer. Let's make it black. Let me name it noise. Then come to effects and presets and type fractal noise. Okay, there's it. And double click to apply it. Okay. The fractal type, let's go for dynamic progressive. Then the noise type, let's go for spline. Let me invert it. The contrast, let's go something like 130 is okay. Transform. The scale, let me come something like 153. Subscaling. Let's go 54. Okay. Rotation. Let's go something like 45 or so. So let me animate the evolution here. The starting, let me set a key at the beginning. Then somewhere like 10 seconds. Let me go 3 rotation circle or 4. So let me just make it 4. Okay. So yeah, it will be like this. It's too much. The speed is too much. So press on U to reveal the key points. Then the rotation circle here, let me clear this one and make it 3 instead of the 4. Okay. Now let's try to blend the noise into the background. Okay. So let's come to normal here, blend mode here. Let me see overlay. No, overlay will not work. Let me see classic. Okay, classic color dodge will work perfectly. So you have something like this. Okay. Nice. Okay, now we are almost done. So let's create a screen blocker. Solid. Let's make it black on top. Then come to the tools bar, then select masking, rectangular masking tool. Then click and drag to cut the surface of the solid layer. Okay, so somewhere here is okay. So after that, instead of add, you can either select subtract or inverted. Just click on the empty box here, inverted. Okay, so you have something like this. So everything will be in the middle nicely. See that? Okay. Now let's try to add a bit of particles on it. Okay. So let's create another solid layer. Okay. Let's name this one particles. Then come to effects and presets and type particular. Then double click to apply it. Okay. Let me see. Okay, it's here. So now let me move it to the corner here. Let me move it from here to the corner here. Okay, somewhere here is okay. Now, let me come to the particular settings, emitter, then particle. Okay. So particle per seconds, let's go something like 200. The velocity, let's go 150. For life random, let me go 100. Okay. Size, let me make it 1. Then size random, let me go full 100. All right. Opacity random, let me go also 100. Size over life, let me bend this a bit. Okay, so let's see. Let me move this in. Let me drag it in a bit. Now let's come to something like physics. Physics air. Air resistance. Let me go 1. Okay. Spin amplitude. Let me go 40. Wind X 180. Then Y. Let me go something like 90. Time factor. Make 1.8. Okay, when Y, let me make it minus 90. Minus 90. Okay, minus 90 so that I see the particles coming in. Okay. Now let's come to turbulence field. Turbulence field. Okay. After size, let me make it something like 20. The scale, let me make it something like 3. So affect position. Now let me make it 700. 750. Okay. Now let me see. Let's see, particle. Let me change the color to something like a darker red. A darker red. Now come to effects and presets. I'm coming. Effects and presets and type glow. That's stylize glow. Then apply it. Double click to apply it. Okay. So the glow strength, the threshold, let me go something like 35. Glow radius 1. The intensity to 1. So I'm coming. Let me change the color here on the particle a bit. Let me make it a bit redder. It's too dark there. Okay, this is okay. So now let's duplicate the glow. Let me duplicate this glow. Control D. Okay. Now the duplicated one, the threshold, let's go something like 10. And the radius, let's go to intensity 1.2. Okay. Now let's see something here. Let's see, where's the particle? Particular. Okay. Let me darken this thing a bit more and see. Okay. So you have something like this. All right. Let me add this. Let me see. Let me see. Let me add it to the screen. Okay. Let's see screen. Okay, so let me leave it as screen. So something like this is okay. Now let's duplicate the particles, the particular layer to have 2. Okay, so now the duplicated one, let's make changes to a few things here. Let's come to a meta position Z. Let's go something like minus 2200. Okay. Then the particle size, let's go something like 3. Okay. Let's see something here. So let's come to rendering on the particle. That's for the second one. As motion blur. Let's go on. So you can select the 2 particles, then hit T for opacity, then reduce them a bit. Something like 30 should be okay. All right. This is too much. So the blur amount on the second one, let's see. Shutter angle, let me see shutter angle. The shutter angle, let me increase it a bit so that it will be more blurred. Then the particle, let me reduce the particle per second to something like 100. Spin amplitude to, let me reduce it, go something like 60. Okay. Okay. So for now, we can leave it like this for now. Okay. So from here, what we do is, let me increase the bottom one. Let me make it 50 so that it will pop up a bit. Let's insert in a camera, new camera. Okay. Then the camera, let's come inside the camera options, depth of field on. Okay. Then the focus distance, let's increase it a bit. The aperture, let's go something like 35. Then the blur level, let's go 350. So I think this is okay. So let's see what we have. Okay, you can apply an adjustment layer to it, then blend the colors a bit so that the text blends in with the background a bit more. So let's say we have, let's insert in new, an adjustments layer. Okay, then apply curves. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll select the red, then move it up. See, once I'm moving it, you see that it's affecting the entire scene. So you have something like this. See that? Your entire scene is enriched with red. So from here, if you want to change the names, you can still go ahead and change the names, then add a few more to bring the title of the movie. Okay, so then you are gone. Now let's come to our main. All right, guys, so this comes to the end of our movie intro making. Okay, see you next time.